Something extraordinary is about to happen in the next 24 hours, and only you who are listening to this message at this very moment will be able to experience the transformation that is to come. The sky is moving silently, releasing energies and events that many would consider impossible, but which for you are about to become reality. Before I proceed, I must issue a very important warning. This message is exclusive, not intended for everyone, but for those who are being called at this very moment, at the very moment when you heard these words. You have been chosen, not by chance, to be here at this time listening to this prayer. Yes, there is a deep secret, a heavenly code that must be activated so that you can witness the miracle that is approaching. This secret is hidden in the Holy Scriptures, in the words of power taught by Jesus, and is guarded by the most powerful spiritual beings, such as Michael the Archangel, the one who fights for us, who protects us from the invisible forces that surround us. He is about to release something unheard of in his life, a sacred word, Ephatá, which means open yourself. When this word is pronounced, spiritual portals open, obstacles are knocked down, and what seemed impossible begins to materialize before your eyes. Maybe you're wondering, what does this all mean to me? The answer is simple. If you believe, if you persist to the end, your financial, emotional, and spiritual life will be completely transformed. Heaven will move its forces in your favor in a way you never imagined possible. Ephatá is not just a prayer, but a powerful spiritual activation, intended for those who have been chosen. It is not for those who are in doubt, nor for those who lack faith. It is for you, who at this moment are listening to these words. Archangel Michael is at your side, ready to break the chains that bind you and open the gates of heaven, especially for you. When you hear and utter this prayer to the end, something within you will be touched and a profound change will take place. Get ready, because the financial and spiritual miracle begins now. Are you ready? I want to invite you to stay with me in this moment, because what is to come has the potential to transform your entire life. Now stop for a moment, take a deep breath, close your eyes if you can, and imagine that in the next few hours something extraordinary is about to happen in your existence. We are not talking about an empty promise or an illusory dream, but something that defies all human logic, something that can only be explained by a divine intervention. You will soon see doors open before you, those that you thought were permanently closed. The impossible will begin to turn into reality, and the abundance you have always desired will begin to flow in surprising ways, breaking through any limited expectations. What you may not realize is that there is a conspiracy in the spirit world in your favor. The financial miracle is closer than you can imagine. It may be that for a long time you have struggled, worked endlessly, and yet it seems that prosperity escapes your hands. Perhaps you have spent sleepless nights, worried about bills to pay, with desires to achieve something greater, while the money never seemed enough. I understand the weight of this worry, and I know that carrying it is extremely difficult. But what you are hearing now is not an ordinary message. It is a call for true transformation. This change does not happen overnight, but occurs in a spiritual moment of pure connection with the divine. It is an instant when the key is turned, the door opens, and everything you need is provided by the universe. You are about to discover this moment. When experiencing the powerful miracle energy of the 777 Ephatá, you must believe with all your heart that this is possible. Saint Michael the Archangel, the heavenly warrior, is ready to act on your behalf, removing the invisible barriers that have hindered your prosperity. By uttering the sacred word Ephatá, all financial limitations will disappear, breaking your bonds and opening the heavens to your abundance. The doors of the universe will be open, and the energies related to prosperity will begin to manifest in an intense way, in a way that you have never experienced before. Trust me, because what until then seemed like a distant dream is on the verge of coming true. However, remember that for this transformation to take place, it is essential to truly believe. As you listen to this message to the end, activation will take place. The heavenly code will be released and you will begin to experience in your own life what many consider impossible. Miracles do not happen by chance, but arise from the union between human faith and divine power. Now your faith will be the engine that will propel you to the realization of all that you desire with so much effort. Get ready to witness money come out of nowhere, a phrase that may seem exaggerated at first glance, but which, when understanding the spiritual strength of Saint Michael the Archangel and the power of the word Ephatá, comes to make perfect sense. You will begin to realize that what once seemed unlikely is actually much more accessible than you imagined. Divine actions will begin to manifest in your financial routine, breaking through blockages and knocking down obstacles. Perhaps at this moment you are doubting, thinking, "This works for others, but not for me." But I want to tell you that it is no mere coincidence that you are here now. This is a sign that you are being called to a profound transformation. Prepare yourself for the arrival of abundance and for a radical change in your life. When this spiritual door opens, you will see the impossible happening before your eyes. Money arriving unexpectedly, doors opening, opportunities appearing out of nowhere, and prosperity flowing intensely into your life. All of this is the power of the heavenly code 777 Ephatá, which you are about to activate. If you are ready for this change, I invite you to move on, as the best is yet to come. The financial and spiritual miracle begins from this moment. I know how hard it has been for you lately. The burden of worrying about finances seems to have no end. Perhaps you have spent sleepless nights, struggling with insomnia, thinking about how to pay the bills, how to solve a financial situation that seems to have no way out. Anxiety has become a constant companion, a shadow that reminds you all the time that your debts are mounting and that the doors seem closed to you. You try to look for solutions, but with each attempt the feeling of failure only increases and the fear of the future intensifies. Often the feeling of powerlessness paralyzes you, making you feel trapped, unable to get out of that difficult situation. This emotional pressure can be destructive, while feelings of guilt and shame begin to dominate your thoughts, making you feel like a burden to those around you. Questions like, "Why am I going through this?" or "Where did I go wrong?" They haunt your mind, increasing the sense of inadequacy. The more the pressure increases, the more difficult it becomes to maintain hope and self-confidence. It seems that you are falling into an endless hole, and low self-esteem becomes an invisible battle, which deeply affects your self-worth. When finances are in crisis, self-confidence takes a severe blow, and the feeling that you are not able to support your needs or offer the best for your family intensifies. Perhaps you have felt ashamed for not being able to provide what you want, for not being in a position to meet basic needs, for feeling that you are failing in some way. In this moment of difficulty, it is important to remember that there is a greater force within your reach, ready to help you get out of this cycle of difficulties. By understanding the power of the heavenly code 777 Ephatá, you begin to recognize that everything can change, that the universe conspires in your favor when you connect with true faith and divine energy. Your attitude of hope and confidence will be essential to unlock this new phase in your financial life. So keep firm faith, trust in the power of the divine, and prepare to receive the blessings that are on the way, turning your losses into gains, your difficulties into opportunities, and your hopelessness into a certainty that the best is yet to come. The doors of prosperity will open, and you will see that the impossible has become only a matter of time and your surrender to the upper force. After all, the universe always works for those who believe and stand firm in hope, and the time for change is now. You are on the way to achieving a miracle that will transform not only your finances, but your whole life. Whenever someone seeks something from you, and you find yourself unable to meet that demand, a deep pain invades your soul, an emotional wound that intensifies over time. This pain can develop into an even more severe condition, such as depression, or else be fueled by the constant weight of economic hardship. Feeling trapped in a dead-end cycle can lead to the feeling of hopelessness, that life has lost its vibrant colors. Anguish turns to despair, and nights of peaceful sleep become ever greater difficulties to sleep. However, it is not only emotional pain that plagues you. The frustrating difficulties in everyday life related to material issues are also overwhelming. You live under the constant weight of seeing your bills accumulate, accompanied by the feeling that the money is no longer enough to cover the most basic needs: electricity, water, rent, credit card, Charges seem to come from all sides. Everyday life becomes a struggle for survival, where even food, hygiene, or housing can be guaranteed with peace of mind. Many live this reality of lack of essentials, having already experienced moments when they found themselves on the supermarket shelf, counting every penny in a desperate attempt to put food on the table, or else analyzing medical bills, trying to decide which one to pay first, while the financial resource escapes faster and faster. Thus, everything seems like a constant battle, where the available resources are not enough to meet basic needs. And what is even more painful is that in the face of this shortage, dreams begin to dissolve. We stop believing that we can accomplish something bigger: travel, study, owning a home, or the small business we've always wanted to open. Everything seems distant, almost unattainable. This cycle of deprivation and frustration repeats itself incessantly, leading to a cruel doubt. Will things ever get better? The feeling of stagnation can become one of the most acute pains, since every effort seems useless and constant work seems to bring no return at all. You feel settled without a way out, perhaps even counting on an income that never seems enough to transform your condition. No matter how hard you try, money is never enough and opportunities always seem to slip away. What's more, the pains that hit your relationships do not cease to exist. Financial pressure affects all areas of your life. Arguments in the family escalate, often involving money issues. Accumulated stress gives rise to disagreements with your partner, children, and friends. In love relationships, financial difficulties wear down the marriage, leading to emotional estrangement. Money becomes a battleground rather than an element that should strengthen ties. Often, social isolation becomes the only way out. You avoid meetings, parties, and even family visits because the shame of not being able to keep up with people financially becomes unbearable. Dependence on third parties also becomes something devastating. Asking for help becomes a difficult weight to bear, and the feeling of being at the mercy of the other, waiting for assistance that does not come, hurts deeply. Deep down, you know that you are trapped in a cycle of dependence that makes it difficult to break free. However, I need you to pay close attention. This situation does not have to be your final destination. Today, you are receiving a spiritual key, a connection to the code of Saint Michael the Archangel. The word Ephatá has the power to break these invisible chains that trap you in this cycle of pain. At the end of this moment, you will be able to free yourself from these limitations, from these pains, and to live the prosperity that has always been yours by right. What you are hearing now is not just a simple consolation, it is a powerful revelation, capable of transforming your life forever. When you come to clearly understand the pains you have been facing, the time comes to move on to the next step. What you listen to from this moment on has transformative potential, capable of altering your life in an accelerated and profound way. We are about to address a subject that does not boil down to a simple prayer, but actually represents a spiritual code of great power and revelation. Few people have access to this knowledge, but from now on this revelation will be shared with you. Ephatá is a word of enormous strength, a spiritual key that, when activated, opens paths in your life that were previously closed. When Jesus, the divine teacher, met a deaf-mute man, he declared with all authority, "Ephatá, open thyself." And in that instant, the man's ears opened and his tongue was released, turning the impossible into concrete reality. Jesus used this word to open locked doors, free from oppression, and restore lives. Now, Saint Michael the Archangel, the mighty heavenly warrior, brings that very word to you, Ephatá. This expression is not just a sound that resonates in the heavens, but a divine key that, when activated, unlocks the paths to prosperity, healing, and abundance. Did you know that even angels use spiritual codes? They are words and phrases charged with divine power to modify realities. Ephatá is one of these codes. It is time to open the gates of heaven, so that God's blessings currently blocked can flow abundantly upon you. The number 777 has a deep meaning in spiritual numerology. This number represents divine perfection and God's direct intervention in your journey. It symbolizes the closing of an old cycle and the beginning of something new, aligned with the divine plan for your life. Whenever you notice this number, It means that a direct connection with heaven is being established, and the transforming power you have been waiting for is about to be activated. Imagine, Saint Michael the Archangel, leader of the heavenly armies, uses the power of the number 777 to break spiritual chains and open the gates of abundance in your existence. We are not talking about small changes, but about a radical transformation in your financial and spiritual sphere. The word Ephatá, which means open yourself, when pronounced, not only asks for a material change, but invokes a deep spiritual openness. It is as if heaven is listening to your prayer attentively, and from then on, all the blockages that prevented the flow of resources, peace and prosperity will disappear. You who are here listening have been chosen specifically to receive this revelation. Saint Michael the Archangel has prepared this special moment for you by bringing this key, this secret code, so that you can access the abundance that has been reserved for you in the spiritual planes. For this to come to fruition, it is critical to understand the depth of what is being activated now. You are no longer at the mercy of luck or scarcity, as you find yourself at a point of transition where everything can transform, as long as you accept and believe in the power of Ephatá. When you hear this word, it resonates deep in your soul. It feels like the door of heaven opens before you, allowing everything you need to come abundantly into your life. Ephatá is the key that removes spiritual and financial barriers. It represents liberation from all that is trapped, hindering your progress. Project yourself now before a spiritual portal. The doors slowly open in front of you, and as you pronounce Ephatá, everything around you begins to change. The air becomes lighter, peace invades your heart, and a sense of hope and renewal takes hold of your being. You feel your heart race, and an intense energy invades your body, as if a new cycle is beginning, bringing a sense of renewal and hope. This transformation that is being activated in your life right now happens through hearing this prayer and trusting in the power of Ephatá. By doing so, you are allowing Saint Michael the Archangel to intervene in a divine way, breaking through the blocks that prevent your advancement and attracting financial abundance, spiritual healing, and relief from the emotional pains that you carry deep. You feel your heart race and an intense energy invades your body, as if a new cycle is beginning, bringing a sense of renewal and hope. This transformation that is being activated in your life right now happens through hearing this prayer and trusting in the power of Ephatá. By doing so, you are allowing Saint Michael the Archangel to intervene in a divine way, breaking through the blocks that prevent your advance. I'm sure that at this moment, your own doubts may be arising, such as, do I really deserve this? Or will the miracle come to me? You may be feeling intense anguish, as if the doors are definitely closed and all your efforts are not delivering the desired results. Perhaps you are stuck in a cycle of endless frustrations, even putting in the effort, fighting hard, but scarcity continues to haunt you. Money always seems insufficient, the days become more and more difficult, and hope seems to go out, like a flame that slowly goes out. I understand exactly what you're going through. You feel confined in a maze of financial difficulties, where solutions would seem invisible, and the dreams you once nurtured have become an unbearable burden. Perhaps you even convinced yourself that there are no more chances for you, and that success and prosperity are only achievements destined for others, not for you. But I want you to know that this is an illusion. The pain and suffering you go through at this time is not a definitive sentence. The feeling of being in darkness, with no way out, represents one of the biggest emotional challenges of your life, fueling fears, anxiety, and stress. All of this can consume your inner peace and make you believe that there is something wrong with you, that you may not have what it takes to change your reality. However, I want to invite you to believe in what is to come. You have the key in your hands, the spiritual code 777, and Ephatá is here to free you from this pain, from this emotional and financial prison. Before moving on, it's important that you look within yourself and reflect. What's holding you back? What are the inner voices that say you don't deserve the best? Do you still believe that scarcity is your ultimate condition? Many times deep down in your heart, you have tried many ways to change your situation. Maybe you looked for answers in the wrong places, got involved in risky business, or tried something different, but you always ran into bigger obstacles. The doors seemed closed, the problems multiplied, and the feeling of being forgotten by God or by life took hold of you. But I need you to understand that this is all temporary. Life doesn't have to go that way forever. You were not created to live in scarcity. This condition was not what God planned for you. The suffering you encounter now has a purpose, yes, but that purpose is not to keep you in pain. He intends to strengthen you, to prepare you for a profound change that is about to take place. Through this experience, you are being shaped for a new phase, a phase of abundance, growth, and fulfillment. It is essential to understand that even in the face of challenges, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. With faith, trust, and the divine help through Ephatá, you can overcome all the difficulties that seem insurmountable today. The transformation it promises comes with new possibilities, doors that will open at the right time, and a new understanding of your own potential. So keep your hope alive. Open your heart to this change and know that the universe will conspire in your favor. You were born to thrive, to live fully, and to achieve all that your heart desires. With the activation of Celestial Code 777 and the essence of Ephatá, you are being guided into a journey of renewal, where the obstacles of the past will turn into stepping stones to a more flowery and fulfilling life. This is the time to believe, to open yourself to the new, and to allow the divine energy to work in you, bringing peace, abundance, and the fulfillment of all your dreams. I know that sometimes radical change is necessary. I also know that at certain times you feel discouraged. Look around you and notice that other people seem to thrive, while you continue to struggle to get out of place. However, I want you to trust what is occurring at this very moment. Archangel Michael, in his infinite mercy and supreme power, is now at your side, ready to break the chains that have imprisoned you. Code 777. Ephatá is not just a prayer. It is a call to profound transformation. I understand that faith can seem difficult to sustain, but by dedicating yourself to this truth, you take the first step toward true change. Saint Michael the Archangel will be your guide in the way out of the darkness. He has the mission to break through the spiritual obstacles that prevent your progress and to bring into your life everything you need to prosper. Let me ask you an important question. Are you prepared to let go of fear and scarcity? Are you willing to open the doors of abundance and welcome all that heaven has in store for you? The time has come to break through the pain, to leave behind the feeling of failure. From this moment on, know that you are no longer alone. Divine intervention is present. Heaven has opened for you and a miracle is about to happen. You deserve prosperity. You deserve abundance. You deserve to live the miracle that is about to manifest in your life. If you are ready to take the next step, activate the power of Ephatá and leave difficulties behind. Follow me to the end of this message, for the best is yet to come. Now that you possess the key to transformation, I want to invite you to take one more step on your spiritual journey. The moment we are living in is not just a common prayer. It is a chain of prayers that will be activated, and you, brother or sister, play an essential role in this process. The prayer we are about to perform is not just a loose word, it carries immense power. When you commit to participate in this current, your prayer ceases to be individual and becomes part of a collective union, which unites all who seek liberation and abundance, thereby strengthening our spiritual purpose. I know that you have been seeking a concrete change in your life, and now more than ever, the time has come to act. What I am asking is not something simple, but it is something extremely powerful. Commit yourself spiritually. At the end of this video, write in the comments your name and a word of power, Ephatá. This word will be the symbol of your faith and your belief in the miracle you are about to experience. By posting this word, you will be publicly declaring your confidence in the power of transformation and opening yourself to the possibility of opening the doors of abundance in your life. In addition, you will create a spiritual connection with all other participants in this prayer stream. Each comment will be a link in a powerful chain, in which together we will invoke the divine help of Saint Michael the Archangel. Activate the spiritual code 777 Ephatá and bring into our lives that which seemed unattainable. Know that by writing your name and the word Ephatá, you will be participating in a collective spiritual movement. You will not face your challenges alone. We will all be united, praying for each other, strengthening our faith and our divine energy. Maybe you're wondering if this will really take effect. My answer is yes, it will work. Participation in this movement is not just a gesture, it is a powerful action that can transform your reality. Believing and acting with faith will open paths that previously seemed closed. After all, the universe responds to our actions of faith and hope. This is the time to connect with this energy, to allow yourself to receive divine grace and to walk towards the prosperity that belongs to you. A symbolic act represents a spiritual commitment that puts you in tune with the possibility of inner transformation. Saint Michael the Archangel has already manifested by your side and remains vigilant, ready to help you. However, it is critical that you take the initiative to decide to take action and open yourself to change. By writing the word Ephatá, you are not merely formulating a desire, but believing in the fulfillment of it, conveying to the universe and heavenly forces the message, I am convinced that this transformation is possible for me. This affirmation activates a spiritual force that will flourish in your existence. In addition to this step, I want you to repeat this prayer whenever you feel the need to strengthen your faith and reaffirm your intention. There is no need to wait for a specific moment to do this. It is enough that whenever you notice the presence of Saint Michael the Archangel in your life or face financial or emotional difficulties that insist on tormenting you, you recite the word Ephatá. Thus, you will establish a direct connection with the celestial energy that is being released at this moment. Now try to imagine for a moment your communion with all the people who participate in this current, forming a collective spiritual movement where the blessings begin to manifest. Each comment containing the word Ephatá represents a soul committed to change, and this unified force generates a wave of positive energy that has the power to transform the realities of all of us. Have you made the decision to change your life? So now is the time to make that choice with courage and confidence. Put your faith into action and activate the transformation you so desire. Heaven is attentive to your prayers, and Saint Michael the Archangel is prepared to intercede for you. By writing Ephatá in the comments, you signify your commitment to divine prosperity. In that instant, all the heavens line up in favor of your journey. Remember that this prayer is not just an act, but a spiritual pact between you and the divine. I'm counting on you. The power to transform your reality is within your grasp. The most crucial moment has come. You are about to experience the power of Saint Michael the Archangel. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath and feel the energy of all that has been said so far coming together within you. Imagine yourself in a quiet environment, surrounded by a soft and cozy light. The energy your body sends out is warm, comforting, and at the same time extremely potent. Little by little, you begin to feel a strong presence, a heavenly force that seems like an invisible hand enveloping you, offering protection, healing, and liberation. Saint Michael the Archangel is with you in this instant. He is the spiritual warrior, the protector of humanity, and stands by your side ready to act in your life. He holds in his hands the sword of divine justice, prepared to cut all the spiritual chains that imprison him. Now, focus on the strength of this divine presence. Take another deep breath, and with each breath, perceive yourself lighter, more confident, and more secure. With every breath, the peace of God enters your heart, invading your mind. Feel the weight of your worries, debts, and anxieties being removed from you. They are dissolving, disappearing, and moving away. You are being liberated at this time. Repeat with me, mentally or quietly, these words of power. Saint Michael the Archangel, I call you now to intercede for me. You, leader of the heavenly armies, come to my aid. Cut all the chains that hold me. Let my financial life open up. May my doors open. Ephatá, I say, let the miracle happen. I cry out for prosperity and abundance, and ask that all that stands in the way of my full experience of prosperity be now broken. Feel the force of these words penetrating your essence. Each letter of Ephatá is a spiritual flame that dissolves currents, breaks through limitations, and opens the paths to fulfillment and prosperity. The universe is attentive to his words, and when he pronounces Ephatá, the door of heaven opens in his favor. Imagine Saint Michael the Archangel before you, wielding his holy sword. With a gesture of authority, he cuts through all the blocks that were hindering his progress. his tranquility, and his prosperity. Feel this force breaking through the chains of scarcity and lack. Notice a luminous door opening in front of you, revealing everything you need to achieve prosperity. Money, opportunities, financial peace, health, and joy. With each breath, you feel lighter, safer, more confident. Prosperity is within your reach. Abundance is coming to meet you. Saint Michael the Archangel is by your side, opening doors, removing obstacles, and bringing divine light to illuminate your life. Now allow yourself to feel a deep gratitude for all that begins to transform. Be thankful for the heavenly brother who is here right now, providing miracles and bringing abundance to you. Be thankful for all that is to come in your financial life. Be thankful that your prayers are being answered. Saint Michael the Archangel, thank you for interceding for me. Thank you for opening the heavenly doors. Thank you for transforming my economic reality and for guiding me towards prosperity. I trust in you and in the power of Ephatá. Take a deep breath once again, feeling a wave of peace and confidence wash over your entire being. The prayer has been completed. The power code 7x7 Ephatá has been activated, and at this instant the transformation begins. Feel at peace, aware that divine intervention has already begun to act. Regardless of what you were living before, your financial life will begin to experience real change. Doors will open, heavenly blessings will begin to manifest on your way. You are no longer alone. Saint Michael the Archangel accompanies you, and heaven has already put itself in your favor. As the light surrounds you, remain silent for a few moments, absorbing this powerful energy. Feel that everything around you is evolving, changing. Now that you have deeply connected with divine power, the time has come to break through cycles of pain, scarcity, and limitations that have dominated your trajectory. I know that throughout your journey you may have felt as if something was impeding your progress, as if invisible forces or curses cast out of envy or spite were blocking your progress. But that reality is about to change. Saint Michael the Archangel is present at this time, ready to free you from all that holds you back. There is an invisible battle going on around you. Many hidden strategies are used by the enemy to keep you in the shadow of scarcity. He wants you to keep believing lies about yourself, to feel powerless and trapped in cycles of failure. However, all this comes to an end now. Allow yourself to understand that financial difficulties, ongoing suffering, and obstacles in your life are often not merely the result of poor choices or lack of personal effort. In fact, they can be the result of spiritual curses, whether these are genetic or cast out of envy, spite, and malevolence of others. You may be facing hereditary patterns of hardship that stretch across generations, keeping your family trapped in an endless cycle of poverty and failure, and without realizing it, these inheritances may be manifesting in your life. Perhaps you've heard stories of financial hardship that your ancestors faced, and those narratives have come to form your current reality. But as of today, all of that will be broken. Opposing spiritual forces feed on your vulnerabilities, and their greatest desire is that you feel powerless in the face of obstacles. They want you to doubt your ability to get out of this situation. But today, a word of power will be announced to break all this curse. Saint Michael the Archangel is present now, ready to destroy all the spiritual chains that have imprisoned you. The word Ephatá is the key to this deliverance. When you invoke this power, you are saying to the universe, to the heavens, and to Saint Michael himself, I decree the end of all cycles of failure, of all spiritual blockages, and of everything that prevents my coexistence with the abundance and prosperity that God has reserved for me. The time has come to free your soul from all the burden accumulated over the years. I want you in this instant to visualize all the curses and spiritual chains around you being broken, as if they were cut by the sword of Saint Michael the Archangel. Feel the bonds of scarcity unraveling one by one. Visualize at this moment the energy of liberation flowing through you. See the sword of Saint Michael cutting the chains of debt, of anguish, of anxiety. Feel the gates of heaven opening and abundance beginning to flow freely into your life, like a river of blessings that brings prosperity, health, and peace. Now repeat with me, with faith and conviction, Saint Michael the Archangel, with your holy sword, cut off all the curses cast on my life and my family, breaking all cycles of failure and scarcity. I call upon you to undo the power of envy, misery, and lack. Ephatá, open yourself to the miracle of my deliverance. May all spiritual and financial blockages be undone now. Feel the power of these words, releasing your essence, feeling light, free from the weight of the past without the chains of scarcity. You are being liberated, transformed, and prepared to live a new reality of prosperity and abundance. Even at this moment, it is possible to notice that something inside you is changing. This liberation goes beyond symbolism. It is a divine action, an act of faith. You are treading a new path. The prison that kept you in cycles of financial and emotional distress has been broken. Now, you are free. Saint Michael the Archangel has already done his part, cutting off all the forces that imprisoned you. But for this change to be complete, one must trust and surrender. Leave the shackles of the past behind. Heaven has already positioned itself in your favor, and the path to prosperity begins now. You are ready to receive all that heaven has prepared for you. The blockade has been broken, liberation has happened, and now you are free to live the abundance and peace you have always deserved. After this liberation process, and as you experience the power of guided prayer, it is critical to keep this positive energy active in your life. The spiritual transformation you have initiated today is not something that happens once. It needs to be cultivated, strengthened, and nurtured daily. So I want to invite you to commit to this ongoing change. The Ephatá 777 prayer is not just a word or a momentary ritual. It is a portal of faith, a tool of connection with the divine that must be part of your daily routine to ensure constant evolution. It is a single ceremony, a code of metamorphosis that can be practiced continuously. The faith you currently have and the trust that emerges in your heart need to be renewed daily. You are the guardian responsible for keeping open the door that leads to prosperity in your existence. I am fully aware that the journey will not be without challenges, and that the enemy may try to resurface with the temptations of doubt, scarcity, or insecurity. However, remember, you hold the spiritual key in your hands at this time. It is the code that unlocks the gates of heaven, from which you hold the power to eliminate any financial or spiritual blockages that may arise in your trajectory. Now, I want you to repeat these affirmations every morning and evening, preferably upon awakening and at bedtime, verbalizing words of power that strengthen an intense spiritual connection with the abundance you desire to manifest. Decorate your heart with affirmations of strength. I am prosperous, I am blessed, I am worthy of divine prosperity. With the intervention of Saint Michael the Archangel, all my financial difficulties dissipate, and doors of prosperity open before me. I decree that my financial life expands to receive abundance, peace, and success. I am freed from scarcity, free from every curse, and I am allowed to prosper. Every day my financial situation improves, and money comes to me from unexpected sources. I trust in the protection and guidance of Saint Michael the Archangel to lead my life towards abundance. These affirmations are not just empty words. They function as spiritual decrees that reinforce inner change. Whenever you repeat these discourses, you make an affirmation of confidence in the process of transformation, creating a luminous trail for abundance to manifest in your existence. A practical tip to sustain this movement of transformation and ensure that the energy of prosperity does not cease is to keep a diary of gratitude and affirmations. Write down daily on waking or before going to sleep your affirmations and the graces for the blessings to come. Gratitude is a powerful tool that enhances the manifestation of more blessings. When you feel discouraged or notice that something is blocking your progress, go back to the Ephatá prayer and repeat it out loud. Feel the power of these words as they create a direct connection to the divine and heavenly prosperity. Commit to persevere in continuous practice. Pray the Ephatá prayer daily, whether morning or evening, thus creating a sacred space of connection with Saint Michael the Archangel. The more dedication you put into this prayer ritual, the easier it will be to live the desired transformation. Share your victories and testimonies, as the act of sharing your experience helps consolidate your beliefs in the process of change and inspires others to walk the same path. At the end of each month, come back to the video and tell us in the comments how your life has changed. Each account will be concrete proof that change is happening, and by doing so, you will also multiply the blessings as sharing positive energy and testimonies attracts even more miracles. Keep moving forward, keeping the energy of transformation alive, as it is not only sustained through prayers and words, but also through faith-based actions. Seek out opportunities, be proactive, and maintain confidence in your power to create the abundance you desire. The universe moves in favor of those who act with faith, and throughout this entire journey, remember that every time you utter the word Ephatá, you are activating a heavenly door in your path. Do not allow temporary obstacles to divert your confidence in the blessing and prosperity that await you. Keep the focus on success alive by persevering through prayer and action, as Michael the Archangel stands by your side, offering protection and guidance. Now that you have received a powerful revelation and activated the process of transformation in your life, the time has come to take concrete steps to maintain this flow of growth and intense change. It was Michael the Archangel who brought you here, and it is time to act with firm faith. It is not enough just to listen or pray. It is imperative to act with determination and make a genuine commitment. I would like to invite you to a simple but impactful action for your spiritual path. First, subscribe to the channel. This inscription is not only a formality, but symbolizes your decision to be part of a community of faith and transformation. By clicking this button, you declare to the universe and the heavens, I am part of this journey, I accept the transformation, and I am ready to live the blessings and prosperity that God has in store for me. Each click reinforces your connection to the divine and demonstrates your commitment to the continuity of the process of change. Therefore, be sure to perform this action right now. Also, leave a comment below, writing something simple yet powerful. Share your name and a strength phrase that symbolizes your belief in your own transformation, such as, I am prosperous and open to the financial blessings God has prepared for me, or another affirmation that reflects your current situation and your faith. The comment isn't just a digital interaction, it's a public statement of faith and commitment. Remember that each message you leave here strengthens the chain of prayer and gives strength to the transformation that is taking place in your life and in the lives of others. Another important step is to like this video. Each like acts as a heavenly seal, a confirmation that you are vibrating in the frequency of prosperity and sharing this vision of blessings with the world around you. This gesture is not just one of affection, but a manifestation of faith that enhances the blessings you seek and inspires others to connect with this energy of abundance. Finally, share this video with someone you know who needs this message of transformation, freedom, and prosperity. What you are currently experiencing may be just the answer to prayer that someone else needs. Sharing this message is not just an act of generosity, but a way to magnify your own blessing. The more you share, the more heaven widens over your life. Never underestimate the power of a simple gesture. Every click, every comment, every share is a spiritual action that reverberates in the heavens, activating a cycle of abundance and prosperity, not only for you, but for everyone who connects with your faith. I know that by doing these actions, you manifest your faith visibly and strongly. And remember, Saint Michael the Archangel is by your side, guiding, protecting, and strengthening you every step of this spiritual and financial journey. So don't put it off any longer. Do it right now. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Together, we will strengthen the current of prayer and prosperity that is being created here. You are part of something greater, of a force that tends to open all paths to the abundance that heaven has reserved for your life. Dear ones, in this moment, breathe deeply, feel the divine presence around you, and recognize that you are being supported by this heavenly energy that never fails. Saint Michael the Archangel is by your side at this time, bringing a powerful spiritual message capable of transforming your trajectory in an extraordinary way. Today, you are no longer the same person. The prayer Ephatá 777, which you have just activated, breaks the chains that blocked your prosperity, leading you to the path of abundance. Don't be alarmed by the signs that appear. Sometimes the miracle begins quietly, but it grows, expands, and manifests in ways you never imagined. The spiritual key has been handed to you this instant. Now, what remains is to trust the process, persist in prayer, and keep your faith always active. Heaven has already acted on your behalf, and with every prayer, with every declaration of hope, you attract more blessings into your life. I know that sometimes the journey may seem arduous and challenges or doubts may arise, but remember, Saint Michael the Archangel never gives up on you. He is always by your side, guiding, protecting, and directing your steps to new opportunities. At this time, close your eyes and visualize your life filled with prosperity. Feel the blessings flowing. Imagine the money coming from unexpected sources. Visualize your debts being paid and financial peace reigning in your home. Feel the freedom that prosperity brings. Realize this energy now, for what you imagine and feel is what you begin to attract into your reality. You're on the right path. The transformation you have been seeking is already underway, and the heavens are working hard to bless you. Regardless of what others say, what the physical eyes can perceive, the miracle has already begun and will reveal itself in a powerful and transformative way. I wish you to feel a deep gratitude for this moment, for this channel, for this prayer, for Saint Michael the Archangel, and for the faith that resides within you. Gratitude is the key that opens even more doors. Thank you right now, before you witness the miracle, for the money that is on the way, for the peace that is taking hold in your life, for the healing that is happening within you. At the end of this video, I invite you to keep this gratitude alive daily, before bed, or when you wake up. Gratitude prepares your spirit to receive more and more blessings. Remember, your faith in action is capable of achieving the miracles you desire in prosperity. Look to the future with hope, knowing that this is only the beginning. The path of prosperity opens for you. What has been planted with this prayer, this faith, and these gestures is about to blossom quickly in your life. You are blessed. You are walking a path of victory. Saint Michael the Archangel is by your side, and nothing can stop what God has already prepared for you. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, Amen. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart that you have come this far, because your presence in this message is not by chance. Saint Michael the Archangel has guided your steps up to this moment, and you have chosen to invest in your faith and your prosperity. May this prayer be just the beginning of many blessings to come. I invite you to continue with us, as we have so much powerful spiritual content that can aid in this journey of fulfillment. May God's peace, prosperity, and blessings be with you always. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you in the next video.